guys, Julian here. Today we're going to be talking about the excretory system. So, cellular activity produces a lot of waste which is toxic to the body and must be eliminated. Excretion is the process by which the body removes waste products. So, the excretory system begins in the kidneys, which filter waste and excess fluid from the blood to produce urine. The kidneys are two bean-shaped organs located below the rib cage, one on each side of the spine. So I think it's time that we go for a walk outside and find some of these waste products and recount their backstory. It's such a beautiful day outside, perfect temperature to be looking for some local waste products. Hey, is that a yellow patch in the snow? Let's go check it out. Whoa, that is so cool. All right, guys, after doing some research with my lab tech Olaf, we figured out that the yellow patch was actually the urine of a Virginia opossum. So, now let's talk about where urine actually comes from and what it even is. All right, so blood enters the kidney via the renal artery and flows toward tiny filtering units known as nephrons. The nephrons filter the blood, and then this filtered blood exits the kidney via the renal vein to go back into the body. So, the kidneys remove waste products and excess water from the blood to produce a liquid known as urine. Some of these waste products are urea. For those of you curious about urea, so cells in the human body break down proteins to produce energy and amino acids. Ammonia is produced from leftover amino acids, but ammonia is toxic and must be removed. So the liver converts the ammonia to urea, and then the urea can leave the body in the urine. So yeah. Okay, let's go back to what else is inside urine. Water, which actually makes up 95% of the urine, minerals, and other substances which are in excess in the blood. Urine might also contain fats, proteins, glucose, and blood cells. However, their presence indicates a health problem. For example, back in the olden days, the way a doctor could figure out if their patient had diabetes was by tasting their urine. If the urine was sweet, it meant that the patient's body couldn't properly absorb glucose, meaning that they are diabetic. Anywho, so once the urine is formed in the kidney, it leaves the kidney via a tube known as the ureter and goes into the bladder. And the bladder could actually hold about a liter of urine, which is a lot. Finally, the urine can leave the body through the urethra, which connects to the bladder, and bye-bye. All right, so now that we know all about pee, let's continue on our walk and see what other waste products we can find. Hey, what's that? A pile of brown stuff. Wow! Let's go test it in the lab and see what we can find out about it. All right, guys, so Olaf and I did some research in the lab, and turns out that brown stuff is actually the dung of the woodland caribou, which is really neat because they're a vulnerable species here in Quebec. So, now let's talk about what dung is and where it comes from. All right, guys, so once food goes into the stomach muscles mix the food and the liquid with digestive juices. This mixture of partially digested food and digestive juices is known as chyme, and at this point, the chyme then goes into the small intestine. The muscles of the small intestine mix the chyme with more digestive juices from the pancreas, liver, intestine, and push the mixture forward for further digestion. The walls of the small intestine absorb the nutrients and water into the bloodstream. Once most of the nutrients have been absorbed, the remaining mixture then goes into the large intestine. All right, so at this stage, the chyme is made up of water, undigested parts of food, and waste products. So bacteria in the large intestine break down any remaining nutrients, such as starches and proteins, that hadn't been fully digested in the small intestine. The large intestine also absorbs the water so that the mixture becomes more firm. At this point, it's known as stool or poo. The poo then makes its way down to the rectum, which is the lowest part of the large intestine. And now for the final stage. The rectum stores the poo until it finally pushes it out of the anus during a bowel movement. Well, that was a nice walk. We learned about urine, about dung, but the thing is, I'm actually sweating now after that walk, and that's interesting because another way that the body excretes waste is by sweating. 2,500,000 sweat glands cover the surface of our body. These sweat glands discharge their secretion, sweat, through pores in our skin. Sweating helps keep our body temperature constant in hot temperatures and when we're exercising. Sweat is mainly composed of water and waste materials from our blood. This is why sweating plays a role in excretion. All right, guys, so now I'm going to be asking you guys some questions to test your knowledge on the excretory system. So, question number 1. I got one. So, name one substance other than water that can be found in a healthy person's urine. Let's see. How about you? Yeah, you in the back with the eyes. Try that one. Pause the video, give them a chance. And as an answer, you could have said urea, minerals, and any other substance that's in excess in the blood. All right, guys, now question number 2. So, why does the chyme, which is partially digested food mixed with digestive juices, become more firm as it travels through the large intestine? How about you? Yeah, you in the front with the hands. Try that one. Pause the video, give them a chance. And the answer is because as the chyme travels through the large intestine absorbs the water, so it becomes more firm, then it could be known as stool or poo. Third and final question. Aha, I got one. Why does sweating play a role in excretion? How about you? In the corner with the head? Try that one. Pause the video, don't forget. And the answer is sweat is composed of water and waste materials from the blood. So when you sweat, the waste materials come out of your body, so excretion.